Reading this book called Bounce by Matthew Swade, and it's pretty good. It's talking about talent and how talent's overrated, and how basically practice trumps genetics. And so there's this excerpt from a New York magazine about Wayne Gretzky, arguably one of the greatest hockey players of all time. And I'm just going to read that for you. So it says, Gretzky doesn't look like a hockey player. Gretzky's gift, his genius even, is foreseeing. To most fans, and sometimes even to players on the ice, hockey frequently looks like chaos. Sticks flailing, bodies falling, the puck ricocheting just out of reach. But amid the mayhem, Gretzky can discern the game's underlying pattern and flow, pattern recognition, and anticipate what's going to happen faster and in more detail than anybody else in the building. Several times during a game, you'll see him making what seems to be aimless circles on the other side of the rink from traffic, and then, as if answering a signal, he'll dart ahead to a spot where, an instant later, the puck turns up. Now, this is a perfect example of expert decision-making in practice. Practice makes perfect, we've all heard the saying. So, like Phil Heath says, perfect practice makes perfect. Circumventing combinatorial explosion via advanced pattern recognition. It is precisely the same skill wielded by Kasparov. Kasparov was one of the greatest chess players ever known in the history of chess. But this is on ice, not a chessboard. How was Gretzky able to do this? Let's hear from the man himself. This is what Gretzky said. I wasn't naturally gifted in terms of size and speed. Everything I did in hockey, I worked for. Hard work. It's like the main ingredient to success. To getting good at anything, you gotta work hard. You gotta put in raw hours in. If two people are playing hockey, and they both have hockey sticks, and they both have skates, and helmets, and all the gear. Now, what makes one player better than the other? It's the hours in. It's the practice. It's the hard work. I was reading in this book, Bounce, that to be excellent at anything, it takes about 10 years. 10 dark years. Or 10,000 hours. And they're saying you got to do about 1,000 a year, no more, because you want quality hours. Now, I did the math. That's about 3 hours a day. So 3 hours a day, you got to practice on the thing that you want to excel at, to be great at, to be in 10 years an expert, world-class master at it. That's what the latest science is saying. So, going on. The highest compliment that you can pay me is to say that I worked hard every day. Wayne Gretzky said that. That's how I came to know where the puck was going to be, even before it got there. So he could anticipate through hard work and simulating and pattern recognition where the puck was going to be. Like if I'm going to serve in tennis, I look at the hips and the feet where they're pointing, and this kind of gives me like a heads up of where the ball is going to go. And that's only through experience that you really develop that. So going on. All of which helps to explain the qualification that was made earlier in the chapter. You will remember that the 10,000 hour rule was said to apply to any complex task. What is it meant by complexity? In effect, it describes those tasks characterized by combinatorial explosion. I'm messing that word up. I'll look it up on dictionary and press the sound button, and it'll tell me how to pronounce that word. Tasks where success is determined first and foremost by superiority in software. Software, we're comparing to computers now, is pattern recognition and sophisticated motor programs, rather than hardware, which is simply how fast and how strong I am. Here's a good. I'm pretty sure it goes on to tell us a good example. This is gross. Oh, shoot. Most sports Most sports are characterized by combinatorial explosion. Tennis, table tennis, soccer, hockey, and so on. Just try to imagine for a moment designing a robot capable of solving the real-time spatial, motor, and perceptual challenges necessary to defeat Roger Federer on a tennis court. The complexities are almost impossible to define, let alone solve. It is only in sports like running and lifting, simple activities testing the single dimensions such as speed or strength, that the design possibilities become manageable. That's really all I wanted to get to, was basically the Gretzky part. And like how he became one of the best hockey players to mankind was because of, he worked hard. He put those hours in. And so, Josh, if I make this video to kind of remind myself, I got inspired by someone to do so. If I want to become really great at something, personal training, a business, whatever it may be, I have to put raw hours in. And that's what's going to separate me from the rest. The best from the rest was raw hours. Gotta go. Peace.